Welcome back to my channel because OH, my God, I genuinely don't even know where to start with these new General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, May 26th, because this episode sounds like complete chaos wrapped in betrayal, panic, revenge, and probably at least 3 emotional breakdowns. And honestly, I am not okay. I swear, every single time I think this show cannot get more unhinged, they somehow find a way to throw another gasoline can onto the fire. And this week, everybody is spiraling. First of all, can we talk about Drew for a second? Because what has his life become? This man seriously went from powerful, confident, controlling his empire to basically having no authority over his own assets anymore. Like, are we watching a man slowly get erased in real time? Because that's what it feels like. And Willow possibly thinking about selling Drew's property? Excuse me? I almost choked when I read that. I'm sorry, but this entire situation feels dark. It feels manipulative. It feels like Drew is trapped in this nightmare marriage where he's losing control piece by piece and nobody around him is stopping it. And here's my issue. Where are the people who are supposed to care about him? Seriously. Does nobody see the red flags? Because I see them. I've been watching this show long enough to know when somebody's about to completely implode. Willow needing money badly enough to consider selling Drew's assets? That tells me things are much uglier behind the scenes than people realize. And somebody better step in fast, because I'm telling you right now, if Drew loses everything while the people around him stand there doing nothing, I'm going to lose it. Then we have Alexis and oh boy, here we go again with the ghosts of old crimes crawling out of the grave. Does anybody remember the whole Rick imprisonment situation? Because apparently Molly does. And honestly, Molly digging this back up could destroy Alexis. I'm not even exaggerating. This is prison level scandal territory. And here's the thing that's driving me crazy. Alexis always thinks she can outsmart consequences. Always. But Molly is not some clueless little kid anymore. She's smart enough, ruthless enough, and emotionally angry enough to blow this entire thing apart. Can you imagine Alexis realizing her own daughter might send her to prison? That is the kind of soap opera drama I live for. And the timing could not be worse because Alexis is also busy helping Chase and Brooklyn investigate Delilah's identity so they can potentially adopt that little girl. Which, by the way, sounded sweet for approximately 5 minutes before the spoilers dropped the Ethan bombshell. Because apparently Ethan is the father? I'm sorry, what? This changes everything. Now suddenly we're all asking the same question. Why isn't Ethan trying harder to reclaim his own daughter? That is weird. That is suspicious. And on this show, whenever somebody avoids responsibility this aggressively, it usually means there's another secret hiding underneath it. I don't trust this situation at all. And honestly, I feel bad for Chase and Brooklyn because every time they get close to happiness, this show throws another emotional grenade into their living room. Can these two breathe for 1 week? Apparently not. Now, let's move to Ava because, oh, Ava, the woman who somehow survives every disaster imaginable may finally be stepping into serious danger again. And the fact that Molly could target Ava, that has me stressed. Because Molly angry is one thing. Molly with evidence and a personal vendetta, terrifying. I actually think Ava may underestimate her completely. And that's dangerous. Ava usually knows how to manipulate people emotionally, but Molly's rage right now feels different. It feels colder, more focused, less emotional, and more calculated. That kind of revenge scares me way more. Meanwhile, Portia is about to go into labor and prepare for a baby celebration, which should be happy, except this is General Hospital, so happiness lasts about 12 seconds before disaster strikes. Because now Curtis is apparently putting the pieces together about the DNA test. Oh my God. Are we seriously heading toward a the baby isn't Curtis's child reveal? Because if we are, this is going to destroy people. And honestly, part of me thinks the writers are absolutely setting this up intentionally. Curtis questioning the DNA results now feels very deliberate. Soap operas do not casually mention suspicious DNA tests unless they're preparing to emotionally annihilate half the cast later. And if Curtis discovers he's been lied to, whew, the fallout is going to be nasty. Now let's talk about the absolute insanity happening with Britt, because this woman is moving like she's 3 steps ahead of everyone and also one panic attack away from collapse. So Britt possibly contacts Sonny and tells him the truth about Sidwell framing Laura and Sonny for Dalton's death. That is massive. But wait, it gets crazier. Because Britt might also expose Cullum's attack on Marco and Marco's death itself. And honestly, I think Britt is intentionally creating chaos between Sidwell, Cullum, Sonny, Pascal, all of them. She's basically tossing a grenade into the middle of multiple enemies and hoping they destroy each other while she escapes with Rocco. And you know what? I kind of respect the hustle. Messy? Absolutely. Dangerous? Completely. But Britt is in survival mode now. She knows time is running out. So her smashing the phone afterward, chills. Literal chills. That moment alone feels cinematic in my head already. And then Sonny, oh Sonny, this man is officially entering war mode again. Because now he's targeting both Pascal and Sidwell, and I need everyone to prepare themselves emotionally, because when Sonny reaches that level of rage, people end up unconscious, hospitalized, or worse. Do I think Sonny is capable of seriously hurting them this time? Yes. Absolutely, yes. Especially after everything involving Marco, Jocelyn, and the betrayals stacking up around him. Sonny has been simmering for a while now. This feels like the moment the lid finally blows off. And speaking of emotional devastation, Lucas and Carly remembering Marco broke me. I'm serious. This sounds heartbreaking. Lucas mourning the man he loved while Carly tries comforting him? That already sounds emotional enough to ruin me. But then Lucas says something that makes Carly panic. Oh no. You know my brain immediately went to Jocelyn. Because every road right now somehow leads back to Jocelyn being in danger. And can we please talk about how insane this kidnapping storyline has become? Because apparently Sidwell didn't even know Jocelyn was secretly imprisoned in his own castle? I'm sorry, but this is so chaotic. I almost laughed. Cassius and Pascal running a secret hostage operation behind Sidwell's back is peak soap opera insanity. And now Sidwell himself may turn against them after discovering they used his property for this mess. Good. Let them all turn on each other. I have been waiting for these villains to start self-destructing. But at the same time, I'm terrified for Jocelyn because Cassius feels completely unstable now. If Sidwell corners him, I absolutely believe Cassius could try to kill Jocelyn just to erase the evidence and frame somebody else. That is exactly the kind of desperate move these characters make when they know they're trapped. And honestly, the idea of Jocelyn dying because these men are all scrambling to save themselves makes me sick. I've watched this show too long. I've survived too many fake outs, betrayals, kidnappings, and shock deaths to trust anything anymore. And maybe that's why these spoilers hit so hard, because it feels like everyone is unraveling at once. Drew is losing control. Alexis may lose her freedom. Curtis may lose his family. Lucas lost Marco. Sonny is losing patience. Britt is losing time. And Jocelyn could lose everything if somebody doesn't reach her soon. This is the kind of week where General Hospital reminds me why I stay emotionally attached to this beautiful, chaotic disaster of a show, even when it stresses me out beyond belief. And honestly, I wouldn't even have it any other way. But I need to know if you guys are freaking out as much as I am, because I am emotionally exhausted just reading these spoilers. Who do you trust right now? Do you think Curtis is really not the father? Is Britt secretly playing everybody? And do you think Jocelyn actually survives this situation? Because right now, I genuinely don't know who's making it out of this mess alive